Well, I'm now standing outside the quarantine zone of the Chengdu Public Health Clinic Care Center. And right here is the back door of the quarantine building where all the newly confirmed patients are being treated. And they include 10 confirmed cases and 2 asymptomatic cases. 3 of these patients are villagers from the already quarantined Taiping village of the Pidu district in Chengdu, in western Chengdu actually, and 2 of them are residents of nearby neighborhoods. One of these neighborhoods are now also being designated as a medium risk area, which makes Chengdu now has altogether 4 medium risk area. And today we have been in this building for a very long time, and we were able to see earlier today through monitor cameras the conditions of the patients, because now media is not allowed to go inside these buildings. And the patients seem to be very calm in the cameras, and they are in good health. The doctors said most of them have been stabilized for the virus, but except one 69-year-old woman, which is one of the first cases, and she's in critical condition, but doctors are keeping her under close medical observation. Every day, experts from nationwide and also in local here in Chengdu are having 2 meetings to discuss the detailed plans on how to treat these patients. And today, we also have Dr. Yu He with us. She's been on the team for a few days, and she's also been here during February actually to treat the earlier COVID-19 outbreak. 于医生，欢迎您加入我们今天的讨论。那您跟我们先简单的说说病人现在的情况。So what are the current conditions of the patients?
现在呢，目前这里一共有12个患者，有2例呢是无症状的，有8例呢是普通型的患者，有1例重型的，还有1例轻型的。然后昨天到今天呢，又新收了5个，就把这5个加上呢，有12例患者。目前呢，这些患者呢，基本上病情都还处于相对稳定的状态，只是有些年龄比较大一点，然后有一些合并症，所以说呢，可能有一定的那个潜在的风险。
So a larger proportion of these new cases are older people, and their conditions might be more complicated than the younger ones. 那对于这些就是年龄稍长的患者，我们有没有不一样的治疗的方案呢？ So for these elder patients, what are the treatment for them?
其实对于新冠的治疗本身就是目前也没有特别有效的抗病毒药物。很多时候呢，主要是给他做好支持，而对于这种重症，就是这种老年人有合并症的，最关键的可能就是他的合并症的一个处理，然后对他病情的一个密切的一个观察，就避免他演变到重症，或者是出现什么异常的情况，我们及时的处理。
So there's no specialized drugs. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no specialized drugs for COVID-19 so far, so it's important to done the basic care for these patients to make sure that they are in good condition, so their body can handle the virus, right? So 那我们现在来讲，不是有一些疫苗吗？那这些疫苗的话，暂时可能还不能去大面积的使用，对吧？那所以就是我们现在能做的就是帮助他们去用一些普通的治疗方法，提高他们的免疫力，还是什么呢？您能具体说说吗？
目前其实最主要的就是做好个人防护，个人防护很重要包括我们的戴口罩我们的手卫生，然后跟人交谈的时候保持一定的距离，还有就是避免到人多聚集，就密闭的环境的情况下，避免过多的人的一个聚集这些相当重要，所以个人防护很重要。
So Dr. Yu told us that because the vaccine is not so widespread right now, so it's important to protect yourself, especially to not go to crowded areas and to wear masks outside and to wash your hands more frequently. 那么您作为专家能不能给我们简单的解释一下这个病毒它主要的传染机制是什么？因为很多人现在很害怕，就好像说我去过了这个病患到过的地方，我是不是就一定会感染上 ？So can you tell us what is the transmission mechanism of this virus? Is it possible? Is the rumor true that if you ever go to the place that one of the patients has been to, you will be you will be transmitted as well.
因为其实目前病毒最主要的传播呢还是飞沫。为什么我们要保持社交距离？其实也就是它的飞沫传播为主，然后就是接触的传播。就病人如果接触过的一些它的分泌物带病毒的这些东西，接触过了一些物体的话，你去触碰的时候容易传播。然后就是担心的那种什么空气的情况，这种气溶胶呢，目前还没有特别多的一个证据。但是如果你在密闭的空间里面，人很多的情况下，不排除有担心的那种空气传播的这种可能性。当然还有就是这种新冠的病人为什么要把它隔离起来，它的那个有些排泄物、分泌物这些呢，可能不排除会对环境有一定的影响。
So the greatest possibility, or the number one transmission method for the virus is still the through spit. 飞沫我们是说 spit 对吧？然后through spit, so that would need long time and close distance contact with the patients. And also, there's another possibility of transmission through air, but there's no evidence to prove that is a definite possibility, that if you ever breathe the same air as the patients, you will be transmitted. And also, it's possible to be transmitted through human waste. So we really cannot say for sure. 那么您对于公众的建议，除了就是说勤洗手、戴口罩之外，您觉得有没有可能就是说尽量避免节假日出行呢？因为这个毕竟很多节假日即将要到来了。So, do you think people should avoid traveling during holidays, since many of the holidays are coming in the next month?
其实就是说你出行的话呢，你要注意一下，就你去的地方，也不是说完全不能出行。首先，你出行你选择的那个交通方式，那个尽量还是避免公共的一些交通，毕竟还是有风险。还有你出行的地点，你肯定也不要选择那些高风险的这些。还有就是，也不能尽量也避免选择一些室内的这一些，就比较空旷的呀这一类的。其实问题不是太大问题不是太大。
So if you really want to travel, you should be careful what kind of transportation you choose, and also where you go, because if you go to spaced areas like this, it's quite safe. But if you go to a very crowded place, the danger of transmission would increase. 那也就是说，只要就是不和这个，我们昨天也和这个华西医院的栾教授讨论了一下，就是说，只要不跟病人进行这种面对面长时间的这个可能不戴口罩的说话、打喷嚏，其实相对而言还是比较安全的，是吧？
是。还有就是手卫生，就是接触的这方面也非常重要。
接触也
对，接触也很重要。接触，
就是
你不能接触病人就到过的这些地方的一些物品这些要注意。所以说为什么要手卫生，要带那个什么随身消毒的那些酒精这些，这是有道理的。
So it's also it's still important that you should carry some unwashable, what do you call them, the hand cream with you to make sure of the hand sterilization. 那么我们发现一个挺有趣，也不能叫有趣一个发人深省的一个现象，就是很多这个确诊病例当中，他们都去过麻将馆，那是不是这个以后这个娱乐场所我们也都最好不要去了呢？就是 many of the patients have been to the mahjong venues to have some recreational activities. So, is it possible that maybe the municipal government will cancel these kind of venues for the time being? What's your personal opinion on this?
所以说这个就看你去的那个地方，你的采取的那种活动，你的那种方式。你看打麻将的话，你面对面交谈，距离很近，他又不戴口罩，你麻将那个手要去接触，要去摸。如果真正有一个人感染，他传的风险是相当大的。所以也就是这种，但是如果就说你比如说你就是在一个，哪怕你在就像我们有些时候开会那样子你就说开会，你如果有一定的间隔，你不产生肢体的接触，你又戴好口罩，其实这种风险相对来讲是比较小的。
So if you really need to go to crowded places such as conference rooms, or if you really want to play mahjong, you need to wear a mask at all times and avoid talking face to face at close distance, and always wash your hands when you get home. 那谢谢于医生，您现在是不是还有点赶时间是吧？是有班车回家是吗？
是。
您这边
回酒店。
像您这样的支援的医生，是 是在另外一个地方。
有那个安排了专门的隔离酒店。
好，那我们就不耽误您的时间了，谢谢您，谢谢于医生。So Dr. Yu needs to get to the shuttle bus because she needs to her bag is still here. Because she needs to get back to a separate hospital where all the volunteer doctors and nurses are staying. If they want to keep their families safe and they don't want them to transmit the virus, they've chosen to stay at these hotels arranged by the government. Now we're walking downhill, and this is the front gate of the quarantine building. It looks old, but I'm told it's one of the best equipped and well-staffed buildings in the hospital. And all the newly confirmed cases are now being treated inside this building. You can see the wires and net here. This is actually the quarantine zone. So we are not allowed to cross the barbed wires. Although we really want to show you what happened inside the building. Our security checks at hospitals and hotels where the doctors are staying remain very tight. So if we try to get through the barbed wires, we probably will get in trouble. And earlier in the day, we see that some delivery men sending meals to the front gate so that the doctors and nurses working here can eat some good meals because they've been working around the clock. And earlier when we look into the monitor cameras about the condition of the patients, some nurses were talking to the patients, although they are very tired themselves. Doctors told me that that is out of the reason that nurses want to keep the patients in a positive minded state, because many of them are staying in the same room 24/7, and that could cause some damage to psychology. So it's important that the nurses are talking to the patients and taking care of them and paying attention to their daily needs. Well, this medical center usually takes in fever patients and patients with respiratory diseases, so they are very experienced in this kind of problems. I'm told that there's actually a new hospital zone, but it's not opened yet. So yesterday we were talking to Professor Luan from the West China Hospital, and he's the deputy chief of expert task force designated by Sichuan's Provincial Health Commission to deal with the COVID-19 cases. And he said that the city has finished its second round of testing on the secondary close and general contacts of the earlier patients. And he also said it's not impossible that the rest of the sample results will also come out positive. But the city is also expanding its screening list. For example, Southwest Jiaotong University yesterday has conducted testing for all its students, free tests. So in different areas across Chengdu, residents have also been lining up overnight for tests. Priority of the free tests are given to schools, kindergartens, construction sites, and other crowded places in the medium risk areas. Well, Professor Luan yesterday has some more advice for us. Now we can take a listen at what he said.
For the time being, we can trace a very clear infection line back to the first patient, Mrs. Liu, and this is a good sign. If there are multiple sources of infection, then that's what the WHO calls a community transmission. That's very difficult to control. I don't think the public need to worry too much, because the main transmission method is close distance, long-time contact with the patients. If you just walk past the patient in the street, or just step into the place they've been for a short time, there's little chance you will get infected. Of course, I still suggest wearing masks outside and to always wash your hands.
at the 3rd floor. You can see at the distance there's an ambulance with doctors and nurses wearing close protection, and they are working around the clock to deal with the latest cases. That is what I have so far from Chengdu. We will keep you updated, and usually at every night there's a press conference held by municipal health commissions. We will keep you updated once we have the new figures.